Hey guys, welcome back to EAK TV. I'm delighted to have John Monach with me, the CEO of ShipChain. Welcome to the show.
Absolutely, thank you for having me.
So how are you finding the conference so far, Decentralized 2018?
Oh, it's been great. It's been very educational, really enjoying the set of speakers that have been around and just meeting everyone that's been on the floor. It's been great.
And you just had a talk as well, right?
I did, talking about bringing blockchain into the shipping and logistics industry.
Great, okay. So for those of our viewers that don't know about ShipChain, can you just give us a quick rundown of ShipChain?
Absolutely. So we're trying to make multimodal shipping much more visible and easy to access. So basically right now, there are so many different shipping systems out there that there's not a lot of visibility because most of them don't talk to each other. A great example is in the United States, no trucking company controls more than 2% of the market. So it's already very fractured and very decentralized in itself, but at the same time, everyone's got different systems and different standards for data.
Which leads to inconsistencies, I imagine. Yeah. Okay, so how does ShipChain then entice larger freight companies to integrate with ShipChain?
Well, we're trying to attack this from two ways. One is from a top-down perspective, and the other is from a bottom-up. So top-down is working with these large shipping companies to integrate their existing systems. We don't expect them to throw out, the ERP systems that they've built on top of. That would be too expensive and just unrealistic. So we're developing APIs to make it so they can communicate with the Ethereum blockchain and ShipChain network through an easy-to-use REST API. The bottom-up method is working with the truck drivers and all of the people that are actually doing the legwork in the shipping industry itself, longshoremen, truckers, et cetera, and making it so that they want to participate. They can join the ecosystem. They can be rewarded for doing a great job and keep their data. So that way, for instance, a truck driver can keep their logs from company to company and be able to get paid more because they can show a full driving resume. So that helps and makes them want to participate too.
Sure. And just out of interest, I mean, what kind of things are we talking about shipping here? What are the most common things that you guys are shipping, or is it literally anything?
It would be really anything, and that would, some of the best examples we've seen are in food. And food trust and safety of food are such a critical thing because last year alone in the United States, there was a giant recall of every head of romaine lettuce had to be thrown away because they couldn't trace the origin of where the tainted lettuce came from. Hundreds of people got sick, it cost millions of dollars, retailers were at a loss as a result, insurance companies paying out. And so being able to trace that down to a much more granular fashion will help prevent those losses in the future and save lives, really.
So how does ShipChain intend to integrate with other supply chains?
So we want to make it so it's an easy access system. Like I mentioned the API earlier. So the API is a very quick way for all these companies to have their existing systems to jump on board, but we also want to work to integrate ourselves with an SAP, for instance. All of these other ERPs that are existing. Oracle has another one. And make it so that it's a very easy on-ramp. And that's been the challenge with blockchain so far we've seen in the shipping industry is no one really knows what's the easiest way to join up.
And in terms of right now, your operations, are they mainly in the US, or is there some other markets that we might not be aware of?
We're based in the United States, but we're working quite a bit with international companies as well, in North America, Europe, et cetera. But we are expanding and we're looking at every market possible because visibility is such a necessary thing for the logistics industry.
What are the biggest challenges you've faced so far in trying to, integrate ShipChain into existing supply chains and obviously to get into that market?
Cutting through the hype. And right now there's been a lot of hype about blockchain, and as a result, unfortunately, there have been some large companies selling consulting packages based on what we feel is not really blockchain, and private chains, consortium chains, permission chains, we're not a fan. So we're going out there and having to educate a lot of companies on why we're using the Ethereum network, why it's a superior technology, and why it's actually going to help them, and how it works, rather than just spouting buzzwords on stage.
So obviously Ethereum has its own problems with scalability. Does that affect ShipChain in any way, in terms of the number of transactions you guys are doing?
We don't feel it does at all, and we are actually building a side chain that runs parallel to Ethereum. So it allows for higher transaction count, lower cost of bringing data to the blockchain itself, but still that public verification aspect of it. And we also feel that Ethereum is working very hard with Serenity 2.0 that'll be coming out likely in the next year.
So is that sidechain like an off-chain solution, or is that, is that an off-chain solution for scaling?
No, it's actually another blockchain that operates a delegated proof of stake method. Right now it's based on the Loom network that we're working on, and it is a sidechain that initially the first initiation of a shipment is posted on the Ethereum mainnet. All of the transport information that goes with the shipment happens on the sidechain, and then the final closure of the shipment is on the Ethereum mainnet.
Okay, cool. And is that going to just be exclusively for ShipChain, or is that open to your partners as well?
Anyone can join it. We can't stop anyone. It's the nice part about an open and decentralized network, but it is focused on the shipping industry.
Okay. So there's been a number of recent developments in relation to supply chains recently. I know obviously there's a number of competitors out there. For example, there's Dutch supermarket Hyen has recently announced a blockchain solution for supply chain. Where do you see ShipChain adding value to these systems?
We see it all over. So from pharmaceuticals to grocery to farming to even high value goods. All of our partners are very interested, and the ones we've been talking with understand the need for the public blockchain. So we really see us being a platform layer under their logistics systems that already exist to help provide that level of visibility and document veracity that they need.
So what trends are you seeing right now in the shipping industry and moving forward in the next 2 to 3 years?
There's a lot of interest in blockchain, but along with that, IoT, sensor devices, and they really go hand in hand together. A lot of people have talked about self-driving vehicles, but I don't see for regulatory purposes that being feasible in the next couple of decades, only because there's a lot of fear around would you want a truckload of diesel fuel driving itself down the highway next to your car? Exactly. So regulators in both the United States and the EU feel the same way. So that will come eventually, but we don't see that being an immediate thing. But a lot of tests will come from that in a driver assist type of technologies.
So how do you keep ShipChain at the forefront of the blockchain era within supply chains?
Just continue to innovate, continue to work on new technologies, pay attention to what is going on in the blockchain market, which is changing every single day. Things are scaling faster than expected, and working with the developers that are out there, and encouraging the community to develop with us.
So do you have any, obviously I know you mentioned the sidechain and the API as well. Do you have any other developments that ShipChain's working on right now that you can share with our viewers?
Absolutely. So we've open sourced quite a bit. You can check us out on our GitHub, github.com/ShipChain. Follow us on social media, of course, but any sort of upcoming news we post on there, of course. But yeah, please tear our code apart. Take a look at it and see what you think.
Guys, you had it here on EOK TV. Thanks so much for your time, John.
Thank you.
Subscribe below.